Welcome back to the Sports Max Zone. The Philadelphia 76ers are sweating on the availability of Joel Embiid, their star player. Embiid has been a noticeable absentee from their semi-final series with the Miami Heat. He has been plagued by the injury bug, dealing with a torn ligament in his right thumb and an orbital fracture. The Sixers head coach Doc Rivers said he's not certain about Embiid's status for Game 3 Friday night when they are on their home court, but trailing the Heat 0-2 in the series.
Really don't know. I honestly, we talked yesterday, we talked today, you know, new generation FaceTime. I don't know why they FaceTime, but he looked good as far as talking, but there's no, he's got so many steps to go through. I don't think he's cleared any of them right now, so we just have to wait and see.
Our NBA analyst, Alister Albert, joins us for the look ahead. All right, so Alister Albert is with us now. Alister, welcome.
Hi there, guys. Good evening.
Good evening. I hope you're doing well. Let's start by discussing Joel Embiid. Alister, the talk of the town and the fact that, you know, he's an integral part of the 76ers.
Oh yeah, definitely. This guy is the engine of this Philadelphia 76ers team. He's the main guy. He's the MVP front runner. You know, he accounts for so much of their offense. He averages over 24, 25 points a game, 11 rebounds per game as well. And you know, these are some of the stats that are really the difference in this series. You know, they're being out-rebounded by double digits. You know, of course, they're not scoring as much because he's not there. And also the three-point shooting as well is down. So one little thing just to add to your update, just whilst you were doing that, reporters come in and sources have said that Embiid will play tonight. So, you know, that's really good news for any 76ers fans out there and everyone watching the game tonight. So, you know, let's see what dynamic he brings to the game. But like we just said a while ago, you know, what he brings to the table offensively and production-wise is so invaluable to this team. You know, having him out there will really create a lot more mismatches and difficulty for the Heat. So let's see what happens. But let's see how much he can play. Doc Rivers and the reporters said that he might play limited minutes. So again, let's see what he could do with that. But it's good to know that he's actually back in the lineup and see what kind of resistance he provides.
Alister, meanwhile, the Celtics, who are locked at 1-1 with the Milwaukee Bucks, they have problems of their own. Reigning Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart is listed only as probable heading into Game 3 on Saturday night.
Is doing much better. Went through shoot-around today, walked through, getting some extra work in, and he will be listed as probable. Jaylen is good. No, nothing talked about, nothing discussed. He felt fine after the game, and like I said, getting him out of the game that late in the game was because of his long stretches and our lead at the time, so he's feeling fine.
Alister, another case of injury, you know, hampering a team?
Yeah, another case of that, you know, probably having an impact on the series as well. Defensive Player of the Year, of course, Marcus Smart, what he brings to the table, you know, some wide open threes that he hits and kind of controlling the tempo as well as their point guard. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that, but the Jayson Tatum and the Celtics were able to defeat Milwaukee Bucks in their last game without Marcus Smart. So, you know, it shows that, you know, they're not totally reliant on him being there. And like I said some time ago whilst I appeared, you know, this is a career-defining playoff run for Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And, you know, right now they've stepped up in the series to kind of even it out and show that, you know, they're ready to kind of give Giannis some trouble, you know, in this series and trying to vie for a spot in the Eastern Conference Final. So, you know, this will continue to be a very tough series going back and forth. I think it has definite potential to go to 7 games. But, you know, Marcus Smart, hopefully, if he is probable and can step onto the court, you know, he'll be much needed. And we'll see how, you know, he's able to come through. But as was seen in the last game, he's not needed for them to win.
Well, also on Saturday will be the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Golden State Warriors. That series locked at 1-1. Dillon Brooks was ejected after his hard foul on Gary Payton, who suffered a fractured elbow, and Brooks has now been suspended for the action. How do you see that one going?
That one will be just as thrilling to watch, just as Boston and Milwaukee. Dylan Brooks, got ejected within the first 3 minutes of the game. So he wasn't even really needed as much for them to come through. But his tenacity and his defensive prowess would be missed on the court, because I think they need every single bit that they could get from every player on that roster to kind of really keep Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, and Klay Thompson at bay. So it's really unfortunate that he has to be suspended, but it was rightfully deserved. That play was dirty and very dangerous. It's unfortunate now that Gary Payton Jr. will not be able to play. But it's going to be a really tough series. Ja Morant has stepped up, and let's see if he could do it again. Can he do a repeat? This is a moment again where stars become superstars and kind of make a name for themselves. So let's see if Ja Morant can lead this team to a win against the Golden State Warriors. And I think he'll have a very tough fight on his hands.
And what I love about Ja Morant is the banter, the battle with Steph Curry. I think that makes the NBA a lot more nicer to watch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's bringing back some old school flair, talking and kind of backing it up. This is a guy who's not afraid. He's said on multiple times throughout the season he wants all the smoke. He's going to go up the chimney and look for it. This team and him have embodied that throughout the whole season, and they're doing it right now within this playoffs. So, let's hope, he could continue to kind of provide that energy, the highlight dunks and plays and everything, and lead this team through. Like I said, it's going to be a really tough match. I kind of predicted that they'll probably lose this series in 6, and I think the Warriors need to really end this series quick. It has to be a 5 or 6 game series for them to go through. If it goes to 7, I actually think Memphis could pull it out. So it is up to the Warriors right now to really put the pressure on themselves to close the series out as soon as possible.
And it wouldn't be fitting of me if I didn't let you talk about the Suns that you enjoyed talking about. The Suns tonight up against the Mavericks, you call it. Don't be biased.
Yes. Oh, I'm not going to be biased at all, but I've kind of called it out throughout the whole season. But, just based on what we've been seeing in this series, I think the Suns, again, have the edge. Luka Doncic, has been, phenomenal. He's averaging 40 points per game in this series, which is remarkable to think of in itself. But, I think they're just being outclassed, outplayed, outcoached and everything by the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul, of course, phenomenal point guard play, controlling the game as much as he does. I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. Chris Paul is probably the player, maybe since Kobe Bryant, in my estimation, that has really been able to maximize what the defense gives him, and he's just able to get to his spots and make anyone who's in front of him look a bit silly. So I think the point guard play and of course the guard play of Devin Booker, these guys as a tandem, and their size is providing a lot of problems for the Dallas Mavericks. In addition to Spencer Dinwiddie and Jaylen Brunson just not showing up. They're not really aggressive, and that's also because Luka Doncic being there, they're kind of standing around and not being able to get the ball and do as much as they did in the previous series against Utah. So they need to step up. Luka Doncic needs to kind of get them involved. But I think this is going to be a very short series. The Suns will, post their ticket or stamp their ticket to the Western Conference Finals this year.
Yeah, what I do like is, despite, and I said this before and George and Lance looked at me, the big teams that we like to call the big teams, despite them not being there, still so much things to look forward for this NBA playoffs. And I just love the storylines that are coming out.
Oh, definitely. All these teams that we predicted straight up at the start of the season to be there are not there. And all the teams that have kind of been built correctly, organically and kind of just coming together organically are the ones that are prospering. And it's really good to see guys like that and Chris Paul and Ja Morant and, all teams, even like the Warriors, who are kind of a core that came together organically, are flourishing. And it's good to see that and guys playing at such a high level at this time of the season and getting ready to advance as far as they can.
Well, Alister, good luck tonight. We'll chat again.
No problem. See you guys later. Enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, Alister Albert there, our NBA analyst. We take a quick break. We'll be right back with your interactive segment.